Hi and welcome back on my channel. I'm so glad that you're here. And today's reading is a universal message for anyone who's been running on empty for a little while now. So this reading is not about predicting your future or anything like that. This is about understanding where the collective that watches these videos is at this point in time, emotionally, energetically, and practically. And basically what actually helps you from moving from where you're at right now to move forward. So we're going to go through the energies that wanted to present itself, and the first one that presented itself was the Three of Cups, which has been coming up quite a lot recently. And I think the first thing is the need for reconnection is what I'm seeing here. No, it's not about productivity or isolation, but this card is about genuinely supporting emotional support, genuine emotional support. I feel like a lot of you have not lost your joy or anything like that. I feel like that you just didn't have the opportunity to be in spaces where you could just be as joyful as you want to be, if that makes sense. So the next energy was the Five of Coins, and that sort of always speaks to a state of lacking something in some way or another. That could be financially, but it could also be your support system, your safety, or also sort of feeling backed by others. And I feel like you might have also not talked about it as much. So that is sort of the energy, sort of being secretive about what you need. Not secretive for being secretive. It's more like you didn't want to burden people, or you thought it's not worth to ask for help right now, or maybe also this feeling of no one can really help me. The next energy that came through was the Nine of Wands, and I feel like despite all of the things that you've been going through, you sort of have adapted, you pushed through, and this card sort of acknowledges your resilience, but also acknowledges that you're sort of tired of what has been going on, and that maybe you just need to hear that. It's okay that you're tired, okay? So it's okay that you're tired of this dynamic or of the thing that you've been feeling right now, because the next thing, the new energy that is wanting to come in, the next energy was the Eight of Cups. And that means that as soon as you make that decision not to drain yourself, not to let go of yourself, not to abandon yourself emotionally, sort of, it feels like that inspiration is going to come in. This new energy that you're looking for is going to come in, yeah? Where you now might feel like you're so depleted. I feel like there will be new stuff coming in, but it takes also a conscious decision, sort of. It sort of feels like if you're constantly fighting just to stay afloat, right? That is not when you're inspired by something. That's when you're busy living. That's when you're busy making some sort of life choices that will help you with creating more financial wealth, with creating more safety, more emotional safety. So if you're running on fumes the entire time, this is not where you actually find inspired thoughts, or where you feel connected, or where you feel light and airy and breezy. So this is why this is so important to recognize that the lack of those things might be exactly what is showing up right now, and might be exactly what you've been feeling over the past couple of months or weeks or days. But this running on empty is also sort of what keeps you in that state. So it's sort of like a little bit, feels almost like a catch-22 here. But there is new energy wanting to come in. But it needs to come from a place of that you make that conscious decision to stop draining yourself. I feel, especially the new energy is with the Ace of Wands, and it's just speaking to me that all of this is you need to walk away probably from something here. It's not it almost feels like this is about leaving situations that keep you in this mode, that keep you in this survival mode, even if you hope that they turn into something else. And then if you look at this is the new inspiration that wants to come in, and this is you leaving the situation, not nourishing what no longer serves you. And that is so important for you right now, because there has to be this point in time where it's okay to look at what is necessary for you right now. Especially, I feel like some of you are still surrounded by like an unnecessary mode of conflict. So it's sort of this point where I'm like, okay, choose your drama, choose your battles. What are you actually willing to let go of? Because there seems to be an environment here that you're in that thrives on stress, on competition, on emotional chaos. And the Five of Wands here is actually saying, do you really need to keep engaging here? Do you really need to be here? Is this really what you need to do? So especially for all of those who, when you feel like that, it might be time to reevaluate those things at this point in time for you to be able to move on in the future. If this all resonates, don't hesitate. Take a breath. This is not here to push you into any direction whatsoever. But it's here to help you somehow recover from these feelings. And I promise you, we've all been there at some point or another. At the bottom of the deck, the energy that presented itself, oh my, I didn't even see that. I'll show you in a second, is the Four of Swords. And the Four of Swords here is sort of a clear directive message for me, is how I picked it up. This is about rest and recovery. This is not avoiding the problem. It's taking a step back, pausing, and helping your system to reset no matter what it is that what it is here. If this is a love situation, money, career, your life, it does not matter. But what matters is that you're feeling some lack, and that you are in a constant state of survival. And that is not where you can be inspired and lighthearted and super energetically fulfilled, I almost want to say. So this is necessary. Yeah. Okay. Finding yourself again. Finding yourself in the sense of like with the Four of Swords, the way that she's sort of nestling here, and she's like, okay, I'm just going to sleep for a moment. But what I find even more interesting with this card is that there's this little red string right here. And I feel that this is finding your purpose, finding your inspiration. Oh wow, the sun is really blinding me right now. But what I was so happy about, and I did not see before I turned the camera on, is the Six of Wands underneath the Four of Swords. So this is you. I feel this is your energy. This is you being you 100%. This is you being successful the way you are, especially when you're not living in this scarcity, high dramatic, high, maybe even high anxiety state of mind or whatever. So if this reading found you and you clicked on it, and I'm so sorry for the visuals, there's nothing I can do right now to make the sun less bright in my face. It's like going back and forth right now. But this reading basically means that you've been carrying a lot without enough support. So you've been carrying a lot of stuff on your own, and you didn't have the support that you basically needed. You're allowed here to step away from this, to step away from the chaos, and choose an environment where you can actually not struggle. Okay, you need an environment that doesn't require you to struggle all the time. And that doesn't mean that you're quitting something, but it's you choosing sustainability for yourself. And therefore, this is your reading. If you resonated with this, let me know. And I hope that you found something helpful in this video. See you next time. Bye-bye.